Hello! Today, you will hear a story about a man's revenge. After graduating from the institute, I still could not find a suitable job. I was always running through interviews, finding all sorts of temporary jobs. In general, money was constantly lacking, and my life was deprived of normal conditions. My head was always filled with ideas of how to earn more, but they were all failures. With personal relationships, too, everything was sad. So I had to deal with all my problems alone. But one day, I passed an interview in the specialty that I mastered at the institute. I was hired and offered excellent conditions. I tried to do everything well so that the management was happy because the salary promised to me was much more than all the side job combined that I had before. I had normal days off, and not only did I have enough money until the end of the month, but I even managed to save money. About a year later, I managed to collect for the first trip abroad where I will relax on the ocean. On my vacation, I went to rest alone. But the landscapes of local beauties and alcoholic cocktails did not let me get bored. I completely immersed myself in the atmosphere of relaxation. Of course, I was a little lonely in the evenings. I would like to talk to someone. I didn't have a girlfriend, and no one from my friends could keep me company. Some were always busy. Others had no money. But once I was walking along the embankment peering into the starry horizon, it was very quiet. The water was only a little worried off the coast. In the distance, I saw a company that was frolicking around the fire. There was laughter and loud cheers. I ended them approaching this company. I decided to go through them as quickly as possible so as not to embarrass them. As soon as I began to move away from this company, a pretty girl caught up with me who called out to me in a pleasant voice. It was Maya. She dragged me to her company, said that they saw me walking sadly near the embankment and decided to take me to her company and get to know each other. I met everyone. They were very nice and friendly guys. Funny stories from life followed and the quiet atmosphere around us burst into laughter again. The next morning, we met Maya again. We walked all day, talked, went to different coastal restaurants. We were very good together. Every day we passed as if in paradise. But soon all this will end. I understood this because I soon need to return home. On one of the last evenings, Maya and I started talking about this. We agreed that if possible we would be able to communicate via video link, and perhaps we would see each other live again. When I returned home, we continued our relationship with Maya at a distance. We often talked, but we really missed each other next to each other. And soon I invited me to move in with me. She had nothing to lose since she did not have a good job, and I had very good prospects here. Soon Maya arrived and we continued to live together. My money was enough to provide for the two of us. After a while, I decided to make repairs. I tried to do the rough work myself. My friend, Nikolai, came to help me. He resold Chinese goods. A friend brought a funny toy with him. I asked what it was. A friend asked me to say hello because I was filmed by a hidden camera. I laughed where he got that from. Nikolai said with a serious look that this is a new product that is very popular. I'm still very surprised how many people are interested in hidden security cameras. The friend replied that now is the 21st century, there is nothing to hide. Everything remains in sight. I put this toy on a closet shelf and we started to cover all the furniture in the house with plastic wrap so as not to get dirty during the repair work. The repair took me about a month. My friend went abroad and his apartment was empty. During the renovation, we moved to it. A month later, we returned to our renovated house. Now everything looked much brighter. Sometimes in my life there were moments when I wanted to mourn. It was very rare, maybe even once a year. At such moments, I plunged into memories. These memories mainly concerned my mother. She passed away quite early. But I remembered her well, and now all that is left of her is her jewelry. I took these jewelry out of the safe and remembered how my mother wore them, how she prepared for some events. After taking some time to be sad, I hid the jewelry back in the safe. Maya asked me more than once about these jewels, and I told her about my mother with great pleasure. Once at work, I was asked to go on a business trip for 2 weeks. Maya was left alone at home, and I went to solve work matters. Nothing strange happened these days. Maya and I are used to long-distance relationships. Therefore, 2 weeks of separation was not something too difficult for us. In the evenings we talked via video link, we also joked and laughed. 2 weeks later, I returned home. Maya greeted me with hugs and kisses, and we had a romantic evening. The next morning I was going to work. Maya had already gone for a morning run, and I was left alone. I started looking in the closet for a shirt, and suddenly I saw this toy with a video camera, which remained on the shelf. I thought that today I didn't have much work in the office and took this toy with me. It became interesting how it all works. Somewhere after dinner, I took out a toy and began to examine it carefully. I thought it was just another cheap thing that my friend used to sell, but it had a very good camera and a fairly strong power supply, thanks to which the camera could shoot for a very long time. A motion sensor was installed here. The camera turned on automatically with some kind of movement. This made it even more possible to save a charge. I connected it to my laptop. I wanted to see the quality of the shooting. I thought that maybe I could somehow prank my friends with this thing. When the device was connected, I saw that there were already several videos in the folder. Probably the camera turned on when they were doing repairs, and Maya also walked around the house. But there was a very suspicious activity at the camera at the time when I was on a business trip. And I started watching these videos. What I saw shocked me. I eagerly peered into every second of the video. Initially, I saw Maya walking around the room with a phone. She talked to someone I didn't know and asked his to come. Soon some guy showed up in my house who just moved in with me for a few days. The most disgusting thing was the following: they had sex right on our bed. It was very painful. I didn't even think that this could happen because everything was fine with us, that we love each other. But apparently, I was the only one who thought so. After another actor betrayal filmed, I wanted to turn it off so that I would not see it all again. But the next video shocked me even more. Maya somehow found out the code to the safe and was stealing my mom's jewelry. I noticed that she did not take everything at once. She took out one at a time. Apparently, she wanted to discreetly replace them with cheap props. She knew perfectly well how dear these ornaments were to me, and she stole them without the slightest remorse. Such an accumulation of news simply could not fit in my mind. I did not know what to do, but a little later it dawned on me that I was simply being used. And it is not clear when I would have known about this. To everyone, and inform if not for this hidden camera. After calming my breathing a little, I realized that I must take revenge on her. Maya had to pay for her impudence and lies. I decided to follow Maya where she takes my jewelry. In the morning, I said that I was going to work, and I myself hid not far from the house and began to observe. Soon, Maya came out of the house with a bundle. I thought it was probably just another piece of stolen jewelry and that I didn't have to wait long. And I was right. She went to the other end of the city where there was a pawn shop. Maya went there, did not stay long, and soon left. I went into this pawn shop and started asking the seller about these jewels. The seller, with a frightened look, said that he did not understand what I was talking about. I took out a bank card and said that I was ready to just buy everything without involving the police. The seller, after some thought, agreed. Fortunately, he still had all the jewelry. He did not have time to sell anything. On this day, I bought everything. It calmed me a little. And I bought it all with May's credit card. I knew all the details of this card, but I never thought that I would use them like that. I myself put this card for Maya with a large credit limit and replenished the card periodically. And in the morning, I took it from home. Mr. Evening, I suggested to make her relax and go to the sauna. She willingly agreed. After she undressed completely and decided to take a dip in the pool, I took all her things, went to the owner of the sauna, paid for our stay there, and said that this girl provides sexual services. She wanted to stay, and I already need to leave. But I refused to pay for her stay here and offered to throw her out as soon as possible because she had nothing to pay. I approached May for the last time and turned on the video from the camera with the betrayal scene on her phone. She was in shock, tried to explain something indistinctly. That this was a mistake, but she was silent about theft, did not say a word. But I was no longer interested. I told her to get to the side of the house herself, but I won't let her go there anymore. And she will find all the things near the garbage dump. I went out. And after a few minutes, I saw how naked Meyer was thrown out of the room, and she completely naked went on her journey. Not suspecting that I knew everything about theft and that she was still waiting for a loan for a decent amount of money, which she would have to pay herself. After that, I began a new life. I began to feel much more confident and stopped being naive and gullible. Everything worked out in the best way at work, and cameras were now installed everywhere in my house because I understood what creatures I could stumble upon in this life. Dear listeners, please like and subscribe to our channel. It stimulates me to release new videos for you.